welcome back to the channel. In this video we have the chart of person who was born on 22 February and he is the grandson of the once richest man on the planet. Based on this chart we can learn how to see such enormous wealth. We can also ask how to see the inheritance, how the 8th house is opening. Is it opening for the inheritance or the diseases? And if there are the planets, can they also be related to war, or it's only restricted to inheritance? Do we have chances for such a wealth? How to analyze this based on this position of the planets, and how to see from which side this inheritance is exactly going. So in this chart we will be trying to go on this journey to answer these questions. So if you like this video, please click the thumbs up. Last time we did the 60, let's see if we can do 80 likes in this video. Subscribe if you would like to get notifications of the future videos about Vedic astrology, Jyotisha. And now without further ado, let's dive right into this video. So the first thing is to understand, is it the proper chart of this person? So we call it rectification. We can also see the Rasi chart. Is the Rasi correct? We can do it by analyzing, for example, the Aruda Lagna and the siblings. But also, for example, the 9th lord is the Rahu, and this is in the Scorpio Rashi. And we know that his father was kidnapped, and even his ear was cut because initially the family didn't want to pay the money to the mafia, to the Italian mafia. So ultimately they agreed and they paid the full price, and then the father was released. But definitely it was something which could resemble this Rahu situation in the Scorpio in the 6th house. So the 6th house is the house of enemy. It's definitely negative house, and we have here the Rahu in the Scorpio. So we have something which is called Ayush, debility regarding the health, and this is the Scorpio. This is the Ayush Nicha, or debilitation in matters of health. So the 9th lord is placed there. And to the sun we have 3 houses, so we can say that the father is going through some kind of a battle. So we have this from the 6th to 8th, where the sun is placed, 3 houses, which is showing that. We also see that the Lagna lord is in 8th house, so this is showing that the person has access to inheritance. And this Mercury and Venus, they are taking part in the Graha Yuddha, in the war. And we see that the Mercury is winning. So this is very good because person has the access to the inheritance, maybe by overcoming someone, because this is the Lagna lord in the 8th and winning the battle with the Venus. So we know that his father is the John Paul Getty III. His grandfather was the Sir Paul Getty, and his grandfather was also called Paul Getty, but he was the owner of the Getty Oils, and also his name is on the Getty Center Museum. So this access to the oil wealth is seen in the D12, because in the D12 chart from the 5th house in the D12 is showing the grandfather because it's 9th from the 9th. So 10th from that is Saturn and Mars in the Aquarius. Normally the Aquarius is more showing the gas, but still the Saturn is there. And yeah, Saturn and Mars, property, oils and so on. This is fitting very much. And we have 3 benefics, which is including the 5th lord in the D12. So 5th lord is in the 11th. So from the 5th house, it's like benefics in the 7th, which are promoting the Raja Yoga, success and wealth. So we see that a grandfather was a very powerful person. And the grandfather was that richest man on earth in some point of time. We can also check the Aruda Lagna. I would say it stays in the Leo, because 11 from the Aruda Lagna will be that Saturn, which is showing the inheritance, with the Lord in the 8th house. So he's getting the wealth from inheritance. And then what's more important, we have this Mercury, Venus and Sun. So Mercury and Venus are needed for entertainment, and Sun specifically shows the music. So the yoga is definitely there. If we move it to Aquarius, we don't have that connection, because in 11 would be that Mars in Sagittarius. Now the next point is about the Upapada. This also fits. The Upapada is in Virgo. So Mercury is loading that with the Venus, which shows that the spouse is doing also something related to art, and the spouse was involved in the fashion store and fashion industry. And also based on that, I'm rectifying the Navamsa chart from Aries to Pisces to have that Mercury and Venus, which is showing the entertainment in the 7th house, which shows that the wife is entertainer, and also aspecting the 10th house, which is related to his wealth, which he's also getting from entertainment, because he's also the famous actor who was playing in one of my best movies by David Lynch, The Lost Highway. And also he was a musician. He was also dropping the acting career life for DJing. So he has that sun now in the Navamsa Lagna in Pisces. So everything is fitting. Sun in Navamsa Lagna for musician, DJ. We have Venus and Mercury in the 7th house, which shows that the wife is into art and fashion. And this is also aspect in the 10th house, which is related to his money from entertainment. Now the 10th lord here would be the Jupiter, which shows the grandfather, and Jupiter's in Taurus, which may show that this is someone from family, and then we can take the signification of the Jupiter in that context of family members, so then the Jupiter will show the grandfather. Now to open the question how the 8th house is opening for the inheritance, so we see that this can be others' wealth, and now we have a few indications here. The first indication is that 2nd lord being exalted shows powerful family, but 2nd lord is in the 12th, which shows that access to other wealth, and that wealth of others will be in the trikona to the 2nd lord. This is the rule. So here we have 2nd lord in 12th, so trikona would be the 8th house, and in the 8th house this is the yoga. So now we know that whatever is in the 8th house is also in the form of money. The next point is that this is the 2nd from the moon. The moon is in Taurus, 2nd from the moon is the Gemini, so 2nd lord from moon would be that Mercury. Mercury is in that yoga. So we know that the career life, professional life is also involved in that yoga. The third point is about the Aruda Lagna. Aruda Lagna being in Leo is aspecting all those planets, and even the lord of the Aruda Lagna, the sun, is in that yoga because it's the sun with the Mercury and Venus. So now we know that whatever it's there, it's the career life, it's adding to the wealth, his access to his place to the society. So he is getting that access to the wealth. Now the fourth point is that these planets, Venus and Mercury, are aspecting the 10th house in the Navamsa chart. So they have this influence on the 10th house of wealth. And so now we know that this Venus and Mercury is the wealth of the person here in the 8th house. So this is more inheritance. I'm not saying that these planets may not open for the health matters. We don't know exactly what was his health complaints. So if these other points are also giving access to that, then this one yoga can open for many areas. So now to answer if this yoga can open for other career life profession except being having the access to this enormous wealth from inheritance, we have to check the Dashamsa, and in the Dashamsa we have this Venus in Mercury in the 7th house and being the 10th lord. So we have Lagna lord in 10th, which shows that his focus on the skill, and the 10th lord is in the 7th house. So the yoga is definitely there. So we know that he was involved in the indie rock band Ringside and also in the rap duo which is called The Wow. So he was also involved in the independent, it's like a business, it's like having their own freelance. So this Venus and Mercury are in the 7th house. There is also a 6th lord, so he could be employed also as an actor. There is a 10th lord which shows his skill, and also it's in the 7th house which shows that this is his freelance. And now the last question, how to see this enormous wealth. So we know that there is this rule that 11th from Aruda Lagna has to be connected to the either Ucha planet or Nicha planet, so exaltation or debilitation or the Atmakaraka. So here Aruda in the Leo, 11th from this would be the Gemini, lord of this is Mercury, and Mercury is with the Atmakaraka Venus in the 8th house. So I have seen many times that in the charts when the 8th house have many planets, this person is getting a lot of wealth because he is just getting the wealth from the inheritance from the past generations. So he is having the either privilege of wealth, or this is the resources of know-how, or this is the resources of networking of people. So anyway, or all three. So a person is just using these resources which are gathered by generation, and this is then in the 8th house. Okay guys, so that's gonna be it for me. I hope you find it interesting and informative. If you do, please click the thumbs up, subscribe for more, and see you in the next one.